Welcome back to State of Decay 2 and the Salt of the Earth. I am still playtesting this game because there's a lot of playtesting to do. In fact, I just heard from Ranethcord that there seems to be a change to the way that grabbing zombies works. And so I already had a goal in mind, which was to head down towards this area, scavenge the library, claim this cell tower, and train this character up in the computer skill. But while we're out there, I'm going to try to grab some zombies using our grappling system and see if I can see the problem that Ranethcord is pointing out. That it used to be that he could grab and throw zombies really easily, and now there's something about the window for the interaction that is making it difficult. The old Dusty Trail says, yes, new videos, let's go. Yeah, so I'm basically... I've got to build up a bunch of videos because I'm not going to be able to stream one of the weekends this summer, and I want to make sure that I've got enough videos that I can just keep releasing them on a schedule, even while I'm away from my computer. So I think I was going to grab this cell tower over here because it's nice and centrally located. Let's claim this outpost.
Consider this outpost ready to go.
And now...
We have to improve our storage capacity, unless we like losing stuff like this.
In a way, your community is like a family you get to choose to belong to.
There we go.
Keep that in mind when you invite new folks into your home.
So you probably couldn't see it very clearly, but this character now, because we claimed that cell tower outpost, this character has now got the computer's skill. Oh no. So we can train him, and what I want to do is train him not just in computers, but also in its specialty, electronics, so that I can start manufacturing C4, which feels like one of the more valuable things that I can try to manufacture to share with other communities. Hello, zombie. Oh, wait, no, what I'm trying to do is grab this zombie. So let's grab the zombie. Okay, so if you grab them, you can hit the attack button. I'm trying to remind myself what the grappling system is like. I haven't used it in so long. Basically, ever since we set up the Y button to be sort of an instant kill for zombies that are vulnerable to being grabbed, I have not had a reason to grab a zombie since. So let me remind myself how grabbing works. So, come up to a zombie. You got to come up behind the zombie. And you can grab it with the right trigger. And then I think, was it A? A throws the zombie. Okay, so let me read back Ranethcord's complaint. So he says, let's see here. I use right click. So he's using a mouse and keyboard. I'm using a controller, so that might have something to do with it. But for aiming my gun and also for throwing grabs. Oh, for throwing them. Okay, so you're not using the same button to grab them that you're using to aim your... Okay, interesting. Okay, so Ranethcord, in order to check out that problem, because you're using right-click to throw... Okay, I'm just going to have to take a note of what you were doing, and I might need to remap my controls to match yours so that I can see what you're talking about. But let me quickly just grab a screenshot of your comment here so that I can, in a different setting, playing on PC, I can actually try what you're talking about, and if it's a problem... Yeah, then we can probably bug it. But yeah, I doubt it was an intentional change. We have been messing around in the combat system. And so it's entirely possible that got, sort of tripped up by accident. Oh, Ranethcord, yeah, if you wanted to make a video of it and share it with me, feel absolutely free. That would definitely make it easier. Oh no, the neighboring folks still need my help. It is tough. So I mean, I think it's a really... One thing I'm proud of about our game is how much sort of control remapping we support. The problem is, like, our control scheme is extremely complex. And so, like, we support all this remapping, but it is entirely possible to set up weird collisions in your local game where it's like we just didn't anticipate people wanting the same button to do two different things, or two different buttons to do the same thing, and we didn't plan around it, and so sometimes it can just be a disaster. So we've given people a lot of rope, but it's still entirely possible to hang yourself with it. So in theory, I really like the fact that we've chosen to support a lot of remapping. I think it's really good for accessibility, but at the same time, it that's a lot easier to do in a game that's got a simpler control scheme. A game with as complex a control scheme as State of Decay 2. It might simply just not be possible to do a super good job of this. Because there's just so many ways things can go wrong. So I'm just going to drop off all the stuff. And then let's put this rucksack in the back of my vehicle. Excuse me, sir. All right, and then let's back this thing up to the strip mall and just start raiding the strip mall. All these zombies out here, just ignoring me. Let's make a bunch of noise.
Let's make the most of it.
So much food in here. I love that I'm opening, like, the freezer section here, and what I'm getting out of it is bandages. Like, or like, what? Wait, no, what is in here? Is that shirts? Like, folded shirts? Or what's in here? I mean, I got bandages out of here. I know that's unrelated to the art, but still, like, part of me, like, wants to sort of justify the story. Like, why did I find bandages in the... Like, maybe I just found some frozen peas that you can use, to treat injuries.
I hope nothing heard that.
So yeah, there are definitely a lot of headaches involved in trying to support a really flexible control scheme. I think there were a lot of people actually who had custom control schemes all set up when we released the sidearms feature, and for a lot of those players, sidearms came in really rough because for whatever custom decisions they'd made in their own control scheme had created collisions with the default sidearms control scheme. And so when that feature arrived, like their button mappings just ended up getting all in the way of each other and kind of being a little bit of a disaster. And unfortunately, I don't think there's a great way to handle every instance of that. Like, it's kind of impossible to avoid there being some weird problem whenever you're adding a new button mapping and adding a new feature to the game. And also, like, when your game uses a lot of button chords, which, when you say button chord, that means you're having to push two buttons at the same time. Like, that was actually a big problem with the original implementation of finishing moves on zombies, because it required two button presses. First off, a lot of players had trouble learning it because it's hard to learn two button presses compared to one. It's hard to prompt two button presses and have people read it accurately compared to one button press. But also, like, if somebody wants to change one of those buttons for some local reason, now you've got to end up with a weird chord where you've got two buttons to press together that don't necessarily work very well together. Like we would have thought through the default mapping to make sure that it made sense. We wouldn't necessarily have thought through every possible player mapping. And so we'd end up in a situation where, we came up with a button chord that seemed to make sense if you're going with the default. But if you changed one half of it, it's just impossible. And so, yeah, and there are probably ways that you could sort of like just deal with all of those special cases, treat them all as separate things for the player to remap, and give them a bunch of different, separate entries on the keyboard remapping screen. But then that keyboard remapping screen gets really, really complicated. and that only sort of makes things weirder when you're trying to add new features. And so like it's just we're kind of doing our best, but it is very, very hard to make that work extremely well. Cogs, I'm really not sure how well a lot of this button mapping stuff works with the very accessibility focused controllers that are out there. I haven't personally done any of those tests. I know that we have investigated that as a team, but I don't have enough personal knowledge of how that stuff works to be able to answer your question accurately. So Superfall wants to know, how come melee weapons in our game are always left-handed? That's a good question. So I remember, dang, it's been a while since I was in those conversations. I think. Okay, let me get this stuff put away real quick, and then we'll have a look at the weapons. I don't have room for anything, but I'm not gonna do the thing where you just keep in a bunch of vehicle trunks, because that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to hoard. I'm here to make useful stuff. Okay, yeah. So let me switch my weapon. Okay, so. I think that, yeah, you can sort of see it. It's clipping with his jacket. But you can see that he's got a gun on his right hip, right? So when you draw a gun, you pull it from your right hip. When you draw a melee weapon, you pull it from the left. And I believe it was wanting to keep those two independent. One is on one side, one is on the other. That ended up sort of being part of the motivation for splitting them up that way. So you didn't have like all of your weapons on one side of your body. Sort of, yeah, fighting with each other a little bit. Like you know, you can sort of like your left hand can put your weapon away while your right hand is grabbing your pistol, or and stuff like that. Like it just sort of it helped. A lot of cases, it's not really about which side you choose. It's more about just having a rule, you know, so that like when you're coming up with all these different animations, it could happen in different circumstances with different things in your hand, stuff like that. That you always know, okay. If I've got a ranged weapon, it's in my right hand. If I've got a melee weapon, it's in my left hand. That's how I remember it. I think if you actually asked one of our animators, they would probably give you much more detailed much more detailed explanation that has a lot more that gets into more nuance and probably remembers some things that I've forgotten. But that's the answer is somewhere vaguely in that direction. But yeah, I do kind of like that all of our survivors are effectively left-handed. It's unusual, but there you go. Okay, so what am I going to do now? I've got my computer expert. Actually, well... Oh, I didn't mean to... I accidentally wasted some pills. Cool. So the question is, what can I do to advance my computer skill? Well, we can do a friendly broadcast. Ooh, no, we could upgrade to a Command Center 3. Let's definitely do that. And after that's done upgrading, we can deal with stuff. And then... We still don't have knowledge of utilities, so we can't build that. So we should build something. Actually, we could always just build more beds so that I can attract more people. Let's just do that. Eventually, I do want to recruit people with more specialties, even though I turned down our last recruit because they just doubled up the medicine skill. I do eventually want to actually start saying yes to people, so we can do that. And then, how many materials am I trying to get down to again? Is it 35? Yeah, it's 35, so let's just doop 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 doop. And then medicine also wants to get down to 35, so again, let's just make a bunch of cure. And food wants to be 35. I'd really love to get a nutritious snacks person here. Because regular snacks are boring, but nutritious snacks feels special. Okay, I think that everything is under the limit now. Yep. All right, cool. We're ready to go out again. Yeah, Cogs, we've been having weird problems with the Boon Trader lately. I'm pretty sure that I've got a... Yeah, so I've got a hostile Boon Trader right here in my community because they just settled down long term and then went hostile because I ignored them. And so I've just got like a mean guy out here now. It's kind of weird. So, yeah, I guess I could always use more cure. And more fuel to spend making fire. So yeah, let's head back down again to this area and keep vacuuming up the stuff that's down there. Oh, Gior asks, wait, are your characters left-handed or are they ambidextrous? Well, you know, I guess because they comfortably use, you know, a pistol with their right hand, I guess they're probably ambidextrous. Though it is strange that they, like, consistently use one hand for each of a couple different tasks. So actually, you know what? I should ask an ambidextrous person. Maybe that's accurate. Maybe if you're ambidextrous, you actually do tend to have a favorite hand for certain activities. And so maybe everyone in our community, everyone in our world, is an ambidextrous person who just happens to feel comfortable using a melee weapon in their left hand and a ranged weapon in their right hand. Oh, Sata Hotpot wants to know if there's any chance of us adding an ability to force characters to walk on PC. Because right now, because I can use the sort of variable tilt of my stick on using a controller, I can use that to make my character walk instead of run. But on PC, you've got a binary input. You've just got like a W key, which is either down or up. Like right now, if I want my character to walk, I totally can make him walk. But people using WASD are forced to move characters basically at their maximum speed under the certain circumstances. Oh, there's another wandering trader. I love wandering traders. So we'll get some of this stuff, then maybe we'll go hunt them down instead. Though actually, I have been spending so much influence. I'm not sure if I'll be able to buy that much unless I bring some real good stuff to sell. Hello. Drop that off, drop that off. The rest of the stuff stacks, so that's probably going to be uncommon. Yeah, let's leave a little bit more space in my inventory. So anyway, yeah, so I just described the thing that Sata Hotpot was mentioning, but I didn't actually give an answer. So it's on our list, is my answer. We know that's something people want, and we just need to, you know, we've got a lot of our programmers are really busy right now on other features, and so we can't just sort of pull them off on that right this second, but it is in the list of things we hope to get to as we get the time. How interesting. So yeah, Gior says that that his grandpa is ambidextrous. He throws, eats, and fights right-handed, but he writes and shoots left-handed. That's interesting. By the way, how do you know your grandpa's handedness when it comes to fights? Did you watch your grandpa fight a lot of people? Like what? I'm fascinated by this relationship you have with your grandpa, where you know how he fights. I do not know how any of my grandparents fight. All right, so we're gonna run out of space real soon. Actually, let's save that tall tower for later. Let's go back over here and see what they've got at the espresso stand. Everyone in my community is just complaining that I'm not going on any missions with this community. They don't understand that they're in a special community that only exists to collect as many resources as possible. So they're just all frustrated. They don't know, like, what is my job? What am I supposed to be doing? But yeah, so Gior says that it's just, horseplay fighting with the grandkids. So I was like, okay, like, is your grandpa like a boxer? Like, I was waiting for sort of the really kind of out there interesting story. So yeah, let's head back home. I don't think I picked up a lot of luxuries to sell since the last time we went to see a trader, which I think was just last episode. So I think we might not be able to get much out of this exchange, but let's see. Because I also don't think my influence is particularly high. It's at like 500 right now. Oh, really? Am I out of storage space? Oh no, am I out of storage space? Dropping all this stuff off. All right. So yeah, let's head in here and see what I can sell. Maybe I'll grab some of the consumables I don't care that much about. So yeah, we got this one here. I do want to keep a bunch of backpacks because they're really good for like mixing and matching to get interesting costumes on your characters. I feel like I just never need these at all. So I'm just going to get rid of the last two I have. The rest of these all look unique, though, so I want to hold on to these. Yeah, and like skill books, that feels like a thing I want to collect. I have been collecting coffee on purpose. But, like, I mean, I guess if I see somebody who's on standard zone or lower, giving them distractions could be valuable. Wait, why? Interesting. Homemade plague cure versus batch 42. Get special batch 42 plague cure right here. That's different from other plague cures. That's great. Now, I usually try to turn spare, common melee weapons into parts, but I've been turning so many materials into parts lately that maybe I should sell these instead. Do not need another crowbar. All right, we got some stuff to sell. Let's head down to wherever this wandering trader is. Oh, they're real close. Okay, cool. Let's just go down and deal with them. So, DeCornflake, that's your name? Sorry, it's hard to read because your name is showing up as the dark blue color that messes with my kind of night mode color scheme. But they ask, what is the best way to get influence? So, I know that when I was playing at a higher difficulty level and influence was hard to come by, the best place was missions, because mission rewards don't scale based on difficulty. They're just the same no matter what. We didn't put anything in there to make them scale. So what that means is, we tuned them originally for standard zone, and so when we started adding the harder difficulty zones that reduced the how much influence you could make, that one source of influence didn't go down with everything else. So if you're playing it, oh hello. So if you're playing at a higher difficulty level, then yeah, definitely try to take all the missions you can. That's gonna pump you up a lot faster than anything else. So it's a red talon trader. That's going to be interesting. So let's sell them as much crap as we can. And then, yeah. Okay, so I've got 810 influence. And they happen to have my favorite gun. The RTX Stormbringer. So I think I can't resist an RTX Stormbringer, even though it's very expensive. And now I'm down to 410.
I was bored, so I went out and found a few things.
So I could either grab a Cyclone, which is a sidearm shotgun, or a Rampart or a Piranha. This gun is not very useful. It's just cool. What the? Yeah, take out those zombies, red talon people. All right, anyway.
You interested in trading? That sounds about right.
The Horde Breaker is really nice too. Do we have any votes on what I should get here? So,
Hey, strangers.
I think I got a SOCOM too as well. Let's... Maybe... Okay, I really like having interesting sidearms. So maybe I'll start with the Cyclone. Because it's just an interesting one to have. It fills a unique role. But then maybe if I can get enough influence before these guys are gone, maybe I can come back and pick up some more stuff. So the question is, how am I going to get that influence? So, all right, so I can do a satellite broadcast to get additional influence from everything else that I do that gains me influence. So that could be helpful. Let's install a secure case in there. I don't have any of the stuff that can build me luxuries. So maybe I just want to go and find some stuff to sell. That might be, I mean, I guess I could always... Should I do a mission? Oh, maybe I should do a mission. I don't want a mysterious broadcast. Oh, the Brewers. Oh, they're too far away.
I'm headed your way. Time.
Okay, you know what? Let's find out which mysterious broadcast this is. Concubine wants to thank my firefighter character for his service. So yeah, so he's actually retraining himself as a computer expert now because nobody needs firefighters anymore. If something starts burning down, you just let it burn down these days.
I've never been scared about being sick before.
What's going on? Hey, Harvard. Oh, okay, so he wants Plague Cure.
Work with that.
Turns out I have Plague Cure. I've got some of Batch 42. So let's go back home. Get this guy some Plague Cure. Now, in the long run, am I going to get as much influence from this guy for completing this mission as I would get... Oh, wait. That's right. I'm not going to use my stuff from home. There's a supply drop. That's right. I forgot about the supply drop. Where did it go? I made this mission. Why am I acting like this is a giant mystery? This is my mission. I'm sitting here like, oh gosh, I have to go home and get this guy a Plague Cure. That's my only option. I wonder if that's going to be cost effective because I could also have sold that Plague Cure, or I could have sold the stuff I made it out of for influence. Man, such a hard decision. There's a supply drop in this mission. I put it there. But, you know, it's like, I mean, when you've worked on a game that is this complex and it's got so many different parts and you've worked on so many different things, it is hard to keep track of it all in your head. In fairness to me. Also, my brain is made out of Swiss cheese. Oh, yeah, so DeCornflake says, wait, you can sell things? Yes, so anyone who sells you stuff, you can also sell them stuff. So if you've got, like, a wandering trader... So usually when I see a wandering trader and I want to go buy things from them, the very first thing I do is I load up on all of my luxuries and anything really expensive that I don't need. Like if I've got way too many chemicals or alcohol or something like that, or if I've got... there's the cure.
Hey, I found it.
Bloater cloud grenade. Advanced biochem station. Yes. Sure, I'll take the note too. I forgot what I was saying now, but that's fine. Oh, but yeah, so basically anything you're not going to use, feel free to just sell that to traders. So they'll have a certain limited amount of influence that they can offer you. And so you get as much of that influence as you can, and then you spend the influence buying stuff back from them. DeCornflake says, I learned so much from just a few minutes in your stream. Well, I hope, yeah. So unfortunately, there's definitely people out there who know way more about my own game than I do. One of them being OG Jawafala, if you want to follow him on Twitch. He is much more knowledgeable. He's on the team too. He's much more knowledgeable about my game than I am. That our game, I should say. It's not like it's mine. I just call it my game when I'm deriding my own knowledge about it. Because it makes me sound even weirder to have it be quote-unquote my game and I don't know things. But what was I saying? I don't know. OG Jellifo is really good, and there's a bunch of other people in our community who are not on the development team who are way, way more knowledgeable about this game than any of us are. This is kind of how it goes, though. It's like you know, when you're doing this like intense focus on constructing a game, a lot of the time you have to kind of, you know, like you have to kind of do deep dives into things. Like you have to really, really become super familiar with all the details of one particular part of the game. And to do that, sometimes you have to just start divesting yourself of knowledge about other parts of the game. And so like I'm super, super up to speed on the parts of the game I'm working on right this second. But I'm not similarly up to speed on stuff that I haven't touched in a while. There you go. Here's your cure.
I won't forget this.
All right. So leave him alone to administer the cure. So sometimes this group just gets attacked by zombies. There we go. 120 influence. Not too bad. Also got this other stuff. Hold on to. I'm really glad I got the chem station, though, because, I mean, if this is supposed to be a community that is here to... ooh, an Echo Tonto as well. If this is a community that is here to provide a lot of consumables, I can suddenly make some of the weirder, cooler consumables in the game. So that is going to be valuable. So we haven't completely filled up the van yet, so let's go over here and scavenge. Again, like an American, driving my car literally 2 feet. So it's slightly closer to my destination. Do. I'm sure there's no zombies coming. Anybody else? You? Oh, you too? So many of you. Anyway. Yeah, my character is getting really tired. I've had him do a lot, so I get it, man. Oh, but let's keep track of how much time we have with this wandering trader, because more stuff I want to buy, and I want to make sure I get to him before the window on that closes. Oh, let's go deal with this. I feel, wasn't the other infestation I dealt with around here somewhere? Hello, everyone. Okay, where's this last zombie? Oh, I see it. I see it. I see it. There we go. Okay, my character's getting real tired. Maybe that's why I got all that coffee, but maybe because all we've got left to do with this guy is just drop off some stuff. Oh, crap. I forgot to work on this. And to make some more cure. There we go. Oh, no, don't get back in the car. No, get out. Get out. Hello, Reaper Rose. Okay, let's just send all this stuff inside. Send that, and that, and that, and that, and that. All right. Now, let's go Jose is not going to leave me alone until I do this action hero stuff, is he? All right, let's see. What do we want to sell? What do we want to sell? I don't know why the icons aren't updating. Whatever. I mean, do we have any repeat backpacks? Oh, wait, we've got 2 Albrecht Dürer backpacks? Really? Okay. Let's sell one of those, I guess. What else do we have here? We've got a lot of these special resources, but not enough that I feel like I can just burn them. We do have a bunch of melee weapons. We got 2 saw blade swords, for instance. A chef's knife. I do like getting rid of duplicates. Pipes. Who cares about pipes? No one wants a pipe. I don't think I have any duplicate guns. I mean, I've got a Stormbringer and a Scar H, which are pretty similar to each other, but now I can give away the Scar H and keep the Stormbringer forever. Is there anything else I want to sell? You know what? I never use energy drinks. Let's just bring all the energy drinks.
Way too noisy.
So let's drop some of this stuff off in here. And then get even more energy drinks. More energy drinks. Keep the shots of espresso. Energy drinks, and then I really like road flares. I don't feel like we really need to keep as many of these as possible. Okay. That's probably enough to at least I'll be able to buy one more gun. I feel like I can sell this stuff. Get enough for one more gun. Oh, you know what? If there's room in the van, let's just drop all of this up. Let's get even more stuff. Even more stuff. Let's go. I'm like running this guy on really hard, just wasting all of his fatigue. He's got nothing left. Okay, so we're gonna grab that. Any other distractions I don't care about? All these other things are interesting. You know what? Let's just sell some snacks. I don't care about snacks either. All right. Guy with no stamina running around saying he doesn't care about energy drinks or snacks. Okay. So yeah, let's head back to the trader. And maybe we'll be able to get ourselves a nice horde breaker. Horde breakers are cool. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, so I've got this sports car. Guess where I found that sports car? I found it right here. I think that sports car is here from the action movie mission. So everyone knows the action hero mission. Everyone knows, I think, that the prepper ant leaves jeeps all over the place. Prepper ant mission leaves jeeps everywhere. I think action hero also leaves sports cars everywhere. That bug has been in the game for so long. We've had ideas for how to fix it, but it's complicated. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe someday we'll do it. I mean, people don't complain that much about having too many vehicles on the map, but still, ugh. Oh, so Cogs is asking about the random traits that get added to characters during travel conversations and whether those have all been gotten rid of. So you still can have a random trait added to your character from those conversations. The thing that we got rid of was any trait that gives your character a skill. That was the thing that players were complaining about. That they would have plans for a character. They would have an empty 5th skill slot. And they'd have plans for the character, and then one of those traits would show up, and we'd give them a 5th skill and mess up the value of that character. So that's what we got rid of. So now, okay, 595. So yeah, so now if you've what was I saying? So yeah, so you don't need to be as afraid. They'll still add a trait to your character, but they won't add a new skill to your character. So that it's not going to cause that problem. Concubine CM says your character can get new traits in the midst of a playthrough. Yeah, there's certain conversations, like if you're running around with a follower, you and your follower are driving in the car together. Sometimes your follower will tell a story about their history, and then that story that they tell will add a trait to them to sort of represent, what that story says about them. For a long time,
Ready to do this?
that could wreak havoc on people's traits, but on people's skills. But now it doesn't anymore. So. Okay, yeah, so let's grab a Horde Breaker, just because I like that. I like that thing. And then I think I can't afford anything else that they have to offer here, except for the stuff I sold to them. But I've got 220, which is real close to being able to buy, like, the RTX Piranha. So maybe I can find... If I can find 30 influence worth of something to sell to these people... maybe I'll feel like I'm done. I got 5 minutes left to find 30 influence of something to sell to them so that I can get a Piranha. Oh! Okay, so let's see if we can do it. Racing to sell everything to Red Talon. Ah!
We needed that.
So Gior says that the action hero mission once gave him 17 police cars because he just kept moving the cars without completing the mission. That's amazing. I love that. I mean, if you're going to have a stupid bug, have one that gives people a bunch of free police cars. My son would love that. He's absolutely obsessed with police cars in this game.
Good to see you.
All right, so let's drop off the Horde Breaker. Let's grab something. I mean, I don't know. Nobody really cares about
That's pretty.
backpacks that aren't on the extreme end. Oh, these are cute ones, so I want to keep those. And a white ultralight pack we're going to keep. I can sell that message for very little. Oh! Huh! My game just froze. Is this the supply locker bug that somebody earlier in the chat mentioned? Huh. Okay. Well, I had a whole thing planned. Wow. Yeah, Random of course says, talk about foreshadowing. That's a surprise. I didn't think this was likely to happen. Okay. Wow, it's not even... I'm selecting stuff in the dashboard and it's not happening. Am I going to have to turn this off at the Switch? I'm going to have to turn my Xbox off at the Switch. No, wait, what's it doing now? Did I just... Oh, maybe I just pushed the button to turn it off. Maybe I invisibly pushed the button to turn it off. That's probably what it was. Okay, well, let's see what kind of trouble we get into if we restart now. I'm just really curious now, like what's going to happen? Huh. Yeah, so that definitely feels like it's a different... Whatever I just ran into seems like it's a different issue from what's been going on with that crash bug. Let's turn on my controller and see... So do we restart from scratch? Okay, we restart from scratch. So I don't know whether to expect that Wandering Trader to still be there. I assume not. I mean, we do have a thing that... We do try to restart missions, certain missions that are in progress at the time that you quit. And so some things will come back immediately. I don't think traders are on that list, though. So let's see what state we've left our community in. But I think I needed to wrap it up anyway, so we're not going to stay much longer. But yeah, let's see what's going on with this community. And so now I've got a nice video of a freeze that happened. That'll be kind of cool. Somebody might find it useful around the office. All right. So I'm still the same character in the same state. I've still got the stuff that I had bought, but I'm assuming, yeah. So the trader's gone. That's fine. You know what? I was struggling to figure out what the heck I was going to sell anyway, so that's fine. Well, let's give this guy a rest. Let's figure out who we're going to play next. We could go... We haven't played Jose in a while. And playing him is probably the only way to stop a million sports cars from showing up, so that's probably good. So yeah, so next session, maybe we'll play as Jose, maybe we'll keep just vacuuming up stuff, and maybe I'll have some other bug I want to follow up on, and we'll do that. But in the meantime, I should wrap this up, check on my bugs, make sure there's nothing else I got to do in the next few minutes. So thank you all for hanging out with me. This was great, and I feel like we've, I found out about some issues I didn't know about, and a couple people got answers to questions that they had. So I think this has been a mutually beneficial arrangement. So thank you all for being here. And that's true, Gior. I could have sold rucksacks for resources. That would have been a really good way to make money since I have so much of that available. That's a really good point, and that's probably what I should have been doing that whole time. So thank you. I'll remember that for next time. Cogs, why don't you like that I make fun of myself for being an American who has to drive a car everywhere? I mean, that's just, like, one of my pet peeves about American society is that we invented this suburban sprawl method of city planning that just assumes everyone has a car all the time and doesn't make it possible for you to walk to useful places. It's one of the banes of my existence. I love walking. I love using public transit. And I absolutely hate the fact that I live in cities that are not designed to support it. So and it's a very, I mean, I think that America gets credit for popularizing that type of city planning. And so I'm going to complain about my own country doing this as much as I possibly can. Cogs thinks I repeat it too often. Well, I mean, not everyone watches every single one of my streams, so I got to make sure that the message gets out there, right? Whatever. If you don't like, well, the thing is, now that's in my head. So now that you've said you don't like that joke, it'll be in my head every time I think of the joke, and I probably won't make the joke. So there you go. You probably got your way, and you've customized the stream through your complaining. So enjoy. Okay. Anyway, I guess I should get out of here. So, if you want to subscribe to my channel, there's going to be a button right there. There's going to be links to other videos. You can click on those. I'm sure Cogs is tired of hearing me say this as well, but there you go. You got to communicate with the new people who haven't been here before.